Alright, so tonight's lesson is lesson 43, and our lesson is more practice with mixed numbers. So we've done this, I believe it was lesson 40, and so this lesson we're just practicing doing some more similar problems and using mixed numbers. Alright, so the first one says, the school will donate 14 pizzas. How many pizzas will there be for each of the 3 classes? So I'm going to go ahead and underline 14, and we have 3 classes. So this is, a pretty simple division problem that we're going to do. So go ahead and copy down the example, and then see if you can do it yourself, and hit pause, and then play it again and see if you got the same answer that I did. Okay, so 14 pizzas. And I'm going to divide them into 3 groups because I have 3 classes. And this is a division problem that you should know pretty quickly. How many times can 3 fit into 14? And I'm going to go with 4. 4 times 3 is 12. And I subtract. I have 2 left over. Now I have nothing to bring down, so 2 becomes my remainder. But if you remember, my answer becomes a fraction. So I put my 2. How many am I out of? My divisor? My 3. So 4 2/3 of a pizza for each class. So then don't forget, you can put pizza, I guess, right here. Pizzas. All right, the next one. To make 3 loaves of bread, Mario uses 7 cups of flour. How many cups of flour are in each loaf? So again, I'm going to underline 3. Underline 7. Okay, and it's another division problem. So we have 7 cups of flour, and we're trying to see how many of those cups are in each loaf. So I'm going to take 7 and divide it by 3. And again, pretty quick, how many times can 3 go into 7? Evenly, 2. 2 times 3 is 6. And when you subtract, you get 1. Nothing left to bring down, so 1 becomes my remainder, and I put it over my divisor, 3. So in each loaf, let's say I had 1 loaf, 2 loaves, and 3 loaves. And this I'll have 2 1/3, 2 1/3, and 2 1/3. And if you want to put your unit, it would be cups in each loaf of bread. Alright, again, you can pause your video, try it yourself. You might have to copy down the problem. I know some of these are a little wordy today. A whole circle is 100%. So here's my circle. If I have the whole circle colored, I have 100%. I have it all colored in. If a circle is divided into thirds, then each third is what percent of the whole circle? Okay, so basically saying if I take my circle that we said was 100%, here's my circle, and I want it cut into thirds, what percent is this side, and this side? So I'm going to have to take my number, 100, and I'm going to have to cut it into 3 even pieces. So I'm going to write my problem, 100, and divide it into 3 equal groups. So I'm going to go to 1. Does 3 fit into 1? No, so I can go ahead and go to my 10. How many times does 3 fit into 10? I'm going to put my 3. 3 times 3 is 9. When I subtract, I have 1. Bring down my next number. Again, how many times can 3 fit into 10? A full 3 times. 3 times 3 is 9. When I subtract, I get 1. I have nothing left to bring down, so 1 is my remainder, and I put it over my divisor, which is 3. So my answer is 33 1/3. So with that, I know that if I draw this circle here, this piece is 33 1/3%. This piece is 33 1/3%. And this piece is 33 1/3%. So if you were to add them up, you would get 100 as your total. All right, on to the next one. A recipe calls for adding 1.5 cups of milk to 5 cups of flour. So we just want to know in total how much do they have of flour and milk. So the way that I like to do it, sometimes you can do it a different way, but I'm going to put my whole number, so I have 5 cups. Okay, and then I'm going to add 1.5 cup Here's my whole number. Kind of draw like a little dashed line. Here is my half cup. So I have 5 with no fraction added onto it. It's not a mixed number. Then I have my 1, and then my half is my fraction. Okay, I like to add my whole numbers first. 5 plus 1 is 6. A half plus nothing else is 1/2. So in total, I would have 6½ cups. So this lesson really is just dealing with mixed numbers, adding and subtracting them, just kind of practicing what we've learned so far with our fractions. All right, and the last question. Marissa spent 1 hour reading and a half hour finishing her math homework. What was the total time she spent on homework? All right, and the same thing that we kind of did before. So I'm going to put my whole numbers on one side and then my fractions on the other. So she spent 1 hour reading, okay, and then I'm going to draw my kind of little dotted line. And then she spent a half hour finishing her math. So when I add that, 1 plus 0, you can either put a 0 or leave it blank, is 1. 1/2 plus no other fraction is 1/2. So what was the total time spent on homework? 1 hour and a half. Hours. And there's my answer. Okay, and here's your lesson practice. So I have some addition problems, some subtraction problems, and then some quick division problems just using mixed numbers, and we will go ahead and check them tomorrow.